Welcome to Daily Papers, the podcast where we break down the latest fascinating research into bite-sized conversations.
Today we're looking at a paper that feels a little bit like science fiction. Imagine you're a scientist. You spend months, maybe even years, working on a brilliant new idea, only to find out it just doesn't work. It's a huge part of research, but it's also a huge drain on time, money, and morale.
It's often called the graveyard of failed experiments. So many promising ideas end up there. But what if you had a crystal ball? What if you could get a hint about whether an idea was going to succeed before you invested all that effort?
That is exactly what this paper is about. The researchers asked a wild question. Can a large language model, an AI, predict the outcome of AI research better than a human expert?
So it's like using AI to predict the future of AI? That's a bit meta. How on earth do you even test something like that?
Well, they set up a very clever competition. They gave their AI a straightforward task. They would present it with two competing research ideas. For example, here are two different methods for trying to jailbreak a chatbot. The AI's job was to predict which of the two ideas would perform better in actual experiments. The key is, it has to make the prediction just by reading the descriptions of the ideas, without running any tests itself.
Okay, so it's like being a judge on a cooking show, but you can only read the recipes. You can't taste the food. And your job is to guess which dish the other judges will like more?
Exactly. And to train their AI judge, the researchers essentially made it read a massive library of old AI research papers. They scraped over 750 pairs of ideas from past conferences, creating a dataset of historical face-offs. For each pair, they knew which idea had actually won, based on the published results.
So they were training the AI on the history of what has and hasn't worked in AI research. But how do they make sure the AI isn't just cheating by looking up the answer for the test questions?
Great question. They were very careful about that. The AI model they used, GPT 4.1, has a knowledge cutoff date of June 2024. All the test questions they gave it were based on papers published after that date, so there was no way the AI could have seen the results before. It had to genuinely predict the outcome based on the patterns it learned.
All right, the stage is set. The AI trained and ready. Who did they put it up against?
This is the best part. They recruited 25 human AI experts, real researchers in the field of natural language processing, or NLP, which is the study of how computers understand human language. These are people who live and breathe this stuff.
The ultimate showdown. AI versus human experts. What were the results?
The results are pretty staggering. On the set of NLP problems, the AI system correctly predicted the winner 64.4% of the time.
Okay, 64.4%. That sounds pretty good. It's better than a coin flip for sure. How did the humans do?
The human experts, even when their predictions were combined using a majority vote, were only right 48.9% of the time.
Wait, hang on. 48.9%. That's worse than flipping a coin. That's a little humbling.
It really is. It shows just how incredibly difficult this task is even for people who are experts in their own field. The researchers found that even the single best performing human expert only managed an accuracy of 60%, which the AI still beat.
So why is the AI better at this? Do we have any idea what it's picking up on that the humans are missing?
The paper suggests humans can be swayed by what they call superficial features. An idea might sound really sophisticated or use complex math, and we get excited by that. We're biased towards things that look fancy. The AI seems to be less prone to these biases.
The researchers actually tested for that right. They ran a bunch of stress tests to see if they could trick the AI.
They did. It's fantastic. They checked if the AI was just always picking the newer idea, which it wasn't. They checked if it was just picking the idea with the longer, more complicated description. It had a slight bias, but it was still good at spotting when a complex idea was secretly a dud.
My favorite one was the famous lab name test. They took the losing ideas and added a note saying they were from a famous AI lab like Google DeepMind or OpenAI to see if the AI would be impressed by the brand name.
And it wasn't. The AI's accuracy didn't really change. It wasn't fooled by the fancy name, showing that it was focused on the substance of the idea itself.
Okay, but this was all unpublished papers. The ultimate test would be predicting the outcome of ideas that are brand new, completely unpublished. Did they do that?
They did. They got their hands on a set of 35 totally novel research ideas that had never been released anywhere online.
These were fresh out of the lab with real experimental results to check against. In this real-world test, the AI achieved an accuracy of 63.6%.
That's amazing. To be able to predict the success of a completely new idea with that level of accuracy is a huge deal. So what are the implications of this? Is this AI going to put researchers out of a job?
Not at all. The authors see this as a powerful new tool for researchers. Think of it as an expert consultant or a research accelerator. A scientist could have 10 different ideas they want to pursue. Instead of spending 2 years testing all of them, they could run them by this AI to get a sense of which 2 or 3 are the most promising to start with.
It could help focus resources, prioritize experiments, and speed up the entire cycle of scientific discovery. Instead of wandering through the graveyard of failed ideas, you get a map that points you toward the more promising paths.
Precisely. It's not about replacing human ingenuity, but augmenting it. By building an AI that can forecast research outcomes, we can make the process of innovation itself more efficient, which could have a massive ripple effect across all of science and technology.